everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The winding road to the Super Bowl continues here in the divisional round, where two teams look to take another step towards the Super Bowl. It's the Cowboys going up against the Eagles.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are just off I-95 at the home of the Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field on the south side of Philadelphia. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left. And this offensive unit today, they're going to need Dez.
A full combo play. Size, speed, toughness, not to mention incredible going and getting the football.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Anderson. From the gun, he'll throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
And that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3-and-out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on 3rd down to force the incompletion to set up 4th. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
He didn't have as many throws or plays in college as many of the quarterbacks that were coming out in the draft, but he maximized what he had. Ended up winning 2 national championships as a starting quarterback at North Dakota State.
Wentz now on 1st down. Completes it to Aguilar. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This is Ajayi. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
Second down now after the incompletion. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Again with a J. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And Jeffrey's got it. 23 yards on the play.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there heals a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, if I have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Flushed out right. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. He's an integral part of the quarter.
And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, 27 yards. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. The papers this week, it was all talk about how big of a game this was. Of course it is. It's the playoffs. It's the divisional round. But they handle it well. They score early.
They really did. Plenty of confidence exuded on that drive. No nerves showing. Terrific way to get things started. They are in control.
He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And for them, maybe a little carryover from last week's game. They got the win on the road in the wild card round, on the road here again in the divisional round, but they're hanging tough.
Hey, cue a little music, right? A little on the road again. I mean, this has been kind of the mantra they're under right now, and they can't change it. The season dictated what would happen with them, right? They had to go on the road for their first round for the playoff. They're on the road again, and sometimes teams get really comfortable with that. Not only the idea of going on the road and shocking the world, but just, hey, it's just us. We don't have to worry about outside distractions. It's just us. Let's go play.
Becomes that us against the world mentality, doesn't it?
And while it may be overplayed, in the media, it's real when it comes time to play ball.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Fletcher Cox is a Pro Bowl, all-pro talent at defensive tackle. And even though he didn't have his best year in 2016, still warranted double and triple teams from opposing offenses. If he's singled up, he usually finds his way into the opposing backfield to wreak a little bit of havoc.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Let's go. 3-19.
They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Safarian-Jenkins. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Throwing again. Anderson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
To throw on 3rd down, Anderson. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Chris Conley, 54 yards. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that...
And now it's blocked. The defense picks it up, but he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
But there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing, and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry about it. It's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. First quarter, we'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax.
Whoa. Bad move. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. If you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
They start on the ground with Elliott. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Gone after the sack field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So certainly not what they were hoping for, especially on the road. Their starter forced to the locker room. And coming in to take his place is the former Baylor Bear, Bryce Petty. The give is to Elliott. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive linemen and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys.
And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And out now come the Eagles. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slides.
Jay's going to go. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big play there for the Eagles on third down. 58 yards on the ground. Nothing fancy there. A little smash-mouth football right up the gut on the dive, and it turns into a huge play.
You talk about the fastest way to the secondary. Right up the gut as you described, and sprinted into the secondary for a long, long run.
Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. They'll run it now out of the gun. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5 quarterback picks up the first down.
Now, that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll toss it to Ajayi. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Ajayi taking it in. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Now the try here for the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Yeah, I think the blitz there really disrupted the draw.
Yeah, and it's usually when you catch them in a blitz, the draw works pretty well. If you're the offensive coordinator right now, that's visor throwing time, isn't it? Because that's supposed to work in a big way.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And taken at the 46. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, I can say he's looked pretty good to this point. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And this one's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Play clock winding down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Jeffrey breaking the tackle. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body. Ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control, and you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Eluding the pressure. And it's a fumble. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
it is cold.
And it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Picked off at the 38, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. On second down, here's Wentz. Here's Booker on the catch. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Now Wentz, and an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 17 yards on the pickup there and also a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On play action, Wentz. His throw caught at about the 5. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place.
And he's in. Touchdown. Jay Ajayi with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Again, it's Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And the Eagles have recovered.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the second quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you always want to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things? But the best players show up each and every week, solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Here's Wentz to throw.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Here's Patty. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. And first, we're going to get a timeout as the defense will talk this over. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point forthcoming. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
As we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
All right, here we go. Blue landed.
Petty now. Wide open receiver complete. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Did your high school have that same push them back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Yeah, it certainly worked. Didn't matter if we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed him back at the last snap of the ball, and boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Out of the gun, they'll look left to throw. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Austin Seferian-Jenkins as the first half is winding down. And the Cowboys cut into that lead.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. They'll start out on the ground with a J. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional round. Hold that thought, Mr. Ridley. We've got a trip to the title game on the line. Folks are eager to get right back to the action. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Wentz to throw on second down. Jeffrey with a catch left side. A very solid gain of 27. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Second down following the run. To throw, it's Wentz. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one.
They'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally really didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down.
You know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And the third down pass falls incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And last time, 1 play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
And a loose football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they weren't. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A give to Elliott. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yards.
And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. Now for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Cowboys. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're if we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it. Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
They go to Elliott again. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Calling about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough...
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll run it now out of the gun, and they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a first carry for Daniel Pumphrey, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Eagles continue to roll. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, and he's got him in the lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Let's go!
ground with Elliott. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have, it's chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
He ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Taken in at the 22. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time...
Tight right.
2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head.
Let's go.
On the run, it's Pumphrey. And some room to roam now. Fighting room inside the 40. 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. A big there. 55 yards. And the Eagles are pouring it on. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
A try here for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now here come the Cowboys. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll drop to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And several days ago, you and I talked with a couple of guys in the meetings about how big is home field advantage. And they kind of downplayed it a bit, but I think we're seeing here today, building up this lead, looks like they're going to win. Why home field advantage in the divisional round so important?
Yeah, they may have downplayed it, but we could also sense that it was important to them because nothing has to change. You don't have to uproot anything. Sometimes when you're going on the road, you may have to even leave earlier in order to get acclimated if it's going to be a tough environment against the team you're going to play. So being at home was a big deal, but now they know, at least they feel like it, they're moving on to the championship round. There's got to be no better feeling. They'll get that 24-hour rule in. Enjoy that before they look forward to the next opponent. I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that +3.
Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And that's incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll look to throw. Out left side here to Bryant. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout. Packets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Let's go. Green 39.
Now back to throw. And he's got some space here. Got some real estate inside the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Here we go. Blue landed.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 7. They're going to look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 15. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. Well, they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Beamer Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This one from 35 yards away. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now that's Elliott, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in the bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore. Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're hitting it just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. He'll drop to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.